What's the real problem with Create React App? Let's talk about it. Quickly want to shout out the maintainers. They are all very hard workers, great developers, and they know what they're doing. We're going to talk about why you should not use it though. Create React App's biggest problem, by far, is how deeply built into Webpack it is. Webpack was a super important tool, especially when Create React App was originally created. The main reason it needed to exist is how hard it was to take the pile of JavaScript that had a good developer experience, separated files, JSX, TypeScript, importing SVGs, all the fancy stuff we were doing every day, and turn that into a single tiny JavaScript bundle that could run in the browser. Webpack is the tool that orchestrated all of that for a long time, and it sucked to set up. Webpack, to this day, is still a pretty rough developer experience and a common meme from people both in and out of the JavaScript community. Speaking of memes, even if you've seen my memes on YouTube, you might not be subscribed. A lot of y'all seem to think you are when you're not. Check the little button, make sure it doesn't say subscribe and that it's not white. If it's white, you haven't subbed yet, click that button. It helps us out a ton. I want to hit 100K ASAP. Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. Back to the point. Create React App is fully built into and around Webpack. Their choice to stick with Webpack is mostly a backwards compatibility decision for people who are using old Create React App instances from years ago. If you don't need to be using Create React App or you're starting a new project, the benefits you'll see using something more performant are astonishing. If Create React App worked for you before, just use Vite. It uses ESBuild, which is written in Golang, for the build step, so that you get millisecond response times when you save a file instead of seconds for code changes to apply. It's a much more minimal template, has everything you need, great single page app experience. If you want to think more about how data is loaded in your app and you're okay with having a server that runs your React code and writes the HTML ahead of time, both Remix and Next.js are really solid options. I tend to lean Next.js because they're closer with the core React team, and we also have some awesome tools from the community like Create T3 app, so you can build a full stack type-safe solution inside of Next.js really simply. Check out any of the videos on my channel about that. It's a really great way to build. Thankfully, both Next.js and Remix have started moving away from Webpack and doing as much as they can outside of it. Remix is all in on ESBuild, and they've built their own build tools around it. Next.js is using SWC and Rust code for the minification and bundling steps. They're also working on rebuilding Webpack in Rust with a new solution called TurboPack. Really excited about that. Both of those will get you much faster response times from when you save a file to when you see the changes, will keep your build tools nice and snappy, and generally give you a better developer experience than Create React App can. All of that said, you have great options here. Shout out to Astro if you want something more staticky and focused less on React, more on outputting HTML. But all of these options are great. Check them out. Stop using Create React if you don't need to. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet for some reason. Click the video in the corner here that YouTube seems to think you're going to like. And leave a comment if you enjoyed this video and ones like this, so I know to make more of these The Real Problem videos. Thank you. Appreciate y'all a ton. Peace, nerds.